Punk showed up at Monday Night Raw before the show started. I did
not know that.
He was walking around. Your flashlight's on. He was walking around backstage, and so now there's all this speculation, all these insiders are conflicting information. What's CM Punk doing, right?
I mean, don't get me wrong. I thought like he wasn't allowed at WWE. Did I make that up?
So let's talk about this. So what I think was happening, because from what I've deciphered from different reports, is he was, number one, it was in Chicago.
His hometown. So
So he goes, fuck it, I'm going to show up. I think he was making amends. I think he was walking around backstage. Supposedly he made amends. He had a little bit of beef with The Miz. Mm-hmm. Apparently they 100% were like, fuck it, we're cool now. Just things that happen. I mean, CM Punk is a curmudgeon.
I like that word.
He's a grumpy man, right? Uh-huh. And so I think that he rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. I do believe that CM Punk went to AEW thinking this is going to be fucking unicorns and rainbows. And then he goes, oh, these guys suck.
I thought you sucked, but they like suck.
Yeah, those guys over there in WWE at least had fucking respect for what was going on. These guys are fucking pricks, right? That's what I believe happened.
Do you think it made him kind of appreciate what he called like the company man and like, you know, the whole culture and everything?
I think the older he gets, the more he understands that wrestling is a business. Yeah. I think he has the same mentality that a lot of people my age who watch wrestling have of like, wrestling was better in the 90s. Mm-hmm. It was. But like, there's a lot that's gone into play to change. Wrestling is an advertisement now. It's not about the wrestling anymore. It is about selling t-shirts and selling premium live events and selling belts and selling soft drinks. That's more what wrestling is now. And I think as he gets older, he starts to see the dollar signs and he's you know, he goes to MMA and he kind of sees how that operates. Then he goes to AEW and he sees the clusterfuck that could be. And so while I don't think he probably goes WWE's perfect, but I think in his mind he's got to go like you said, this might not have been as bad as I thought it was. Yeah. You know? And so I think there's a part of him that looks around at the landscape of wrestling and he goes, there's an avenue that gets me to the WrestleMania, which has been my dream since the very beginning. Maybe I show up in the back and I shake hands and I take a temperature of what the climate is back here. Now, it said that he was asked to leave by Vince McMahon.
Okay.
But I've seen some people go, well, this is a clear sign that Vince McMahon wants nothing to do with him. No. Tony Khan keeps fucking threatening to sue WWE for tampering.
Why?
Because remember when Triple H took over, they said that Triple H was talking to wrestlers about bringing them back, and Tony Khan was all butthurt about how you can't talk to my wrestlers, they're under contract.
But how come you can't just talk to him as a friend?
So you can, but I think that the problem is CM Punk is this guy right now who's kind of enigma, and we don't know where he's going to work next. Yeah. So the idea is probably the optics of Vince McMahon going, or Triple H going, we don't even want it to seem like we're talking to you about coming back.
I mean, it's also kind of bullshit on Tony Khan's part because, like, hello.
Well,
he's a man. He can make his own decisions about where he wants to go.
But it obviously happens both ways with Cesaro and all those guys. Somebody was talking to them. Yes. What it is Tony Khan uses Jericho and the Elite and Kenny Omega to do the talking so that he doesn't get in trouble. The difference is Triple H and Vince McMahon run their company like a fucking business, and they don't send out fucking props to go do these things, right? But so this is what I'm thinking is I think, you know, it was said that maybe he stopped Triple H, who was somebody who he's had problems with, and said, do you have a couple minutes to talk? And that the conversation between them was, I can't talk right now. Mm-hmm. I need to go make sure it's even okay for you to be here. But I think they're saying that the exchange was at least cordial.
That's good.
And that it came back and it was like...
maybe even when he was asked to leave, it wasn't like,
so apparently,
get the fuck out of here.
Apparently it was. And he left.
It was?
No, it was cordial.
Oh, okay.
That he was like, no, I get it. I'll leave. Not a big problem. Just wanted to say hi.
So he had to leave the whole arena?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I'm sure he could have bought a ticket and gone inside, but I don't think that's what he was there to do. Now, multiple things to take away from this.
So he just showed up.
It backstage. I mean, CM Punk, he knows the wrestlers.
Okay, he could just walk in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like nobody's stopping CM Punk from walking in the back. He knows where to
ticket.
He knows where to park. He knows where to he knows the entrance everybody's going in. I'm sure he pulls up and sees a couple guys.
Sense. Yeah, now I get it. Okay.
So, but there's two things I think come from this, right? There's two options. One, he's checking the climate. Mm-hmm. He's saying like, hey, this AEW shit may not work out. There's a chance I get bought out of my contract. I may need a place to wrestle, right? 2, which I think is more realistic, is CM Punk is a fucking businessman. He understands right now. He understands that his name has been drugged through the fucking dirt, and that as far as kind of the indie wrestling scene, most people want to try to shit on CM Punk. So he shows up at Monday Night Raw, and what happens? We're all talking about him again.
Yeah.
WWE fans are going, oh, fuck, this is it. He's coming back. He drums up an excitement. Now, when it comes time to sit down with Tony Khan, Mr. All I do is fucking stare at what WWE's doing. If Tony Khan really thinks that WWE would be interested in CM Punk, I guarantee you the way he perceives CM Punk changed just based on this climate that's going on right now, him showing up.
He's like the jealous girlfriend.
Well, I think that there's leverage in this for CM Punk. So I think CM Punk goes back, and now he's going to go meet with Tony Khan, and he's going to go, they'd love to have me. The reception was fine.
Just be one in this.
And so Tony Khan has to figure out now, what do I do with CM Punk? He was just leaving him on the shelf knowing I can do whatever I want. There's not a real worry. His name's kind of tarnished. All of a sudden, it looks like, hey man, at least like the Miz and these guys, they're all willing to kind of mend fences with him. The WWE is a possibility. So we have this rumor that Tony Khan's starting a Saturday night show for CM Punk. But does that really work? Like, is that a real fix, or is that just a bullshit workaround that he's going to try, may never come to be, or may never even see like its full potential, right?
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm sorry. I love wrestling, but that is a lot of fucking wrestling to watch.
Yeah, and Saturday night to me is just not a good night.
No,
It's a good night for
new shit.
It's a good night for premium live events once a month.
Exactly.
The anticipation's built up. I know one Saturday a month I'm going to sit down to watch this.
Event to have fun and do.
Yeah, but I don't think every Saturday I'm watching a show. Number 2, if you're Tony Khan and you see this and now you're extremely nervous, are you willing to just pay? I don't remember exactly. I think it was like $50 million. Are you willing to just pay CM Punk to sit at home? I mean, are you willing for the next 2 years to just cut that check, send it to him, and have him just sit at home? Because that's what he's doing right now.
Yeah.
I mean, I know he's like rehabbing an injury or whatever, but like the reality is Tony Khan is paying him to stay home. So you got to ask, at this point, will Tony Khan consider a buyout? Will he buy that? Hey, $4 or $5 million, I buy you out. You can go do whatever you want. Is CM Punk interested in that? There's so many questions surrounding it, but I think this was such an sneakily smart move by CM Punk to drum up this like get people talking about
what you said
this.
He's always kind of done, right? It's kind of like,
yeah, I think he's an intelligent guy.
Yeah.
And I think that he saw like, oh, the elite want to play fucking dirty. I could do the same thing.
Yeah.
I do this, and now I've drummed up all this interest. And so now I think the ball goes back to the elite, right? The ball goes to the elite's court. And can the elite put their egos aside and go, hey, man, we may have the biggest feud in pro wrestling. If we put CM Punk and Kenny Omega or the elite in a ring together, we could probably sell out any stadium we want to. And they're doing this big show overseas. If you want to sell out that arena, I think CM Punk just gave you the avenue to do it. But I think for CM Punk, it's a little bit of a like put up or shut up to Tony Khan. Like, I still have options. There's still other people who will take me. All right.